I'm Melissa, and I'm with the marketing at BIC, and I always work very closely with all of our awesome sales team, and that's who I'm here with today. This is our second series of our BIC webinars, so these will also be posted on our website following this, not immediately. Once we get it up and loaded, we will let you guys know, so it will be available. And I am going to also take Q&A, so if you guys have any Q&A, go ahead and send them over in the Q&A, and we'll ask them at the end of the presentation once we are wrapped up. So we also have some exciting poll questions, so hopefully we get some interaction and get some good feedback from you all. So I will hand it on over to Megan and Eileen.
All right, thanks, Melissa. Good afternoon out there, and welcome to the BIC Graphic Webinar Series. My name is Megan Sears, and I'm the Regional Sales Manager for BIC Graphic, covering the Western United States. And I'm so excited today. Our topic is, are you rebound ready? So definitely trying to get you guys prepared to rebound back from this. And so I use the term lucky, lucky. But I'm lucky to work with her every day. And she's a 10-year superstar in the industry, and we are so happy to have her here working with us at BIC Graphic, all the way from Simi Valley, California.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the introduction. Melissa, it does look like we have some feedback in the background, so I don't know if you want to throw everyone on mute. I can see about doing that too. Let me do that. Okay. Hopefully that will cover the background noise. But thank you everyone for joining us. I think that Rebound Ready is something that's important because everyone has a different version of what readiness is and means to them. I hope that with today's informational webinar, you'll learn something new and maybe take away some best practices as far as opening up for business again, or assisting your clients in opening up for business. So first things first, we do want to acknowledge the fact that our definition of normal has morphed into something that's new and definitely something that's different. Whether or not it's a good different, I mean, some of the benefits that I've seen are definitely an improvement in community and rallying around small businesses that people want to open. Some of the things that we may not appreciate so much are, you know, standing in line outside, but one of the things that helps with that is guidance in the form of communication. Melissa, if you want to throw up that poll question and we'll get some feedback here. What is most important to you when returning to your normal work environment or your routine? Whether that's your grocery shopping or your return to office and return to an office environment. I'd love to get some feedback on what you feel is most important. Seems like physical distancing measures is definitely the front runner here, which is no surprise. I know as far as I am concerned, one of the last things or places that I will be is a movie theater. It just doesn't seem to be a place where you can really separate yourself from others, and you're in a closed environment for a prolonged period of time. So not to say that it won't happen someday, but for now, you know, that's one of the things that I'm doing to, you know, kind of limit those measures. So overwhelming response, physical distancing is the winner here. All right. All right, when it comes to returning into the office, like we said, physical distancing measures are one of the most important things. And I have seen a tremendous effort in my local community with signage, stickers on the floor. I've seen, thankfully, a big uptick in the number of actual floor stickers and posters being used instead of masking tape on the ground. I think that it's been helping. I do have some feedback for a rather large retailer that didn't do it right. And to me, there's, communication is always a good thing. The more you can communicate, the better, but it has to be clear and consistent communication. Safety posters, signage for your team, for your clients' teams are definitely great as long as they are consistent. We are seeing a big uptick in mask orders, disposable masks. Kids are in some areas of the country getting ready to go back to school in person. Where I live, it's still distance learning, but there is an option for going back to school in person in a few weeks once we see how everything's going. But hand sanitizer, you, like me, see it everywhere. So that's those two items specifically, masks and sanitizers, they are not going anywhere. We are also seeing that temperature checks are being administered. I was one of the lucky few to get my hair cut in the short period of time that California was open, and then California closed again. And before I went, it was hand sanitizer, it was a temperature check, it was masked the entire time. I didn't care. I kind of looked like a ragged person, so I was glad to be able to see my beloved Olga and get my hair touched up. Limiting contact is another great way to encourage physical distancing. Cashless payments are on the rise. I've seen more and more Square and mobile payment options at retailers where they weren't before. I've also seen a huge increase in drive-through. Now, I do know that there are permits that are required for some of those businesses that weren't previously drive-through to be a drive-through facility, but you can help your customers by providing them with sun shelters or temporary seating, signage, any of those things. You know where to get them, and if you don't, please reach out to me and I'll be happy to connect you with one of our industry friends who specializes in that outdoor advertising. We have seen the Keep Your Own Pen campaign take off like wildfire. No one wants to touch the communal pen jar that's on the desk at the doctor's office. I'm not going to anytime soon. So if you can use your own writing instrument, also increase your client's ROI on their brand exposure, writing instruments are a proven way to do that with minimal cost per impression. Our Click Stick Stylus pen is one of our best sellers, and the stylus feature allows folks to write on those touch pads because, again, the fewer touches you can have with a surface that's not your own is going to benefit you in the long run. All right, as far as communication goes, as I mentioned earlier, clear and consistent communication is the best way to move forward. I'll give you two examples that I've experienced on my own of good communication and execution, and then poor communication with regards to patrons. So a quick positive, I recently went out to dinner, and before I pulled up to the restaurant, we checked in on Yelp and saw that they were open, and that was exciting in the first place. As we arrived, my husband and I saw that there was a check-in stand and there were clear directions. There was a tablet, there was a stylus pen, and it said, please check in, provide your name, number in your party, and your phone number. And then once you were entered into their portal, they acknowledged that they would send you a text message and they asked for you to wait in your vehicle. Now, I thought that was genius, as long as it worked, right? That's the key. And within a few minutes, we received a text that our table was ready. We were met at the door by the hostess who took us immediately to our table. And I thought that was a great way for the business to adapt to the new regulations in their county. and to provide a unique and still very special and very personal experience. They greeted us by name, and it was nice to not have to wait in line and to get seated right away at that restaurant. Now, as I mentioned, there was another larger retailer who may or may not specialize in discount home accessories. And I went in there and I was immediately overwhelmed. They have stickers on the floor to advise of the different directions that their aisles are going, right? This is not new to any of you. You know what I'm talking about. But the stickers went every direction, and there were 2 lanes in a row that went the same direction and cross directions. It was just a nightmare, and it wasn't clear. So clear and consistent communication, both with your staff and with your clients and with your patrons, is really going to help as you prepare and help your clients prepare to get back to business. We also want to consider how budget restrictions might, change the way that you keep your business going. If you do need to cut costs, it's a great idea to take a look and see what you really could do without, and make those smart decisions. I know that diversifying is sometimes a scary thing to do. You are an expert on, let's just say, the collegiate marketplace. We know that colleges largely are not going back to campus in person in the fall, which I can't even believe it is next month already. But diversifying your portfolio might be a smart decision. It could be expanding your product offering to a new category like PPE. Many of us have done that this year. Checking in on those regular customers. I've experienced this as a consumer, and receiving a personalized phone call from the bank that we do business at was a touch that A, I was not expecting, and B, was really critical in deepening the way that my husband and I feel about that institution. So think about reaching out and making phone calls. It can just be, hey, we're thinking of you. We want to make sure you're doing well. Is there anything we can help you with? Went a long way. And of course, we always want to be sure that we are checking in with your county, city, or township governing agencies so that you can understand the guidelines clearly. They do have resources if you aren't sure what the rules mean, and they definitely have task forces, at least they do in my area, and hopefully they do in yours too, to guide small businesses. It might always be a good idea to include your employees. They may have some great ideas as far as how to engage your customers, how to reorganize your office. I mean, these are all things that you can do, don't cost any money, and can definitely make a big impact. All right, so we put together this great checklist for you. Temperature checks are widely practiced in my area, and the regulations do vary state to state, county to county, so please be sure to check with your local government to see if this is an option that you need to consider. But temperature checks with the no contact thermometers are a great way to be sure that your staff are healthy and your patrons are healthy as well. We've talked again about clear communication. My favorite little temporary communication tool is a sticky note. I've seen these at a few different establishments, primarily asking people to please use hand sanitizer before touching a stylus or a touch screen. These are inexpensive and a great way to provide that option. You can also pre-print the messages on here. You don't have to handwrite them like I did. PPE is also needed nowadays. The disposable mask options are great. I am a personal proponent of reusable face masks. We do have the bandanas, or the gaiters if you want to call them that, as well as multi-use fabric face coverings, both in adult and youth sizes available. Appointment only patrons. I love this idea. First of all, it helps with your traffic overall, or your clients' traffic. If they know that they have an appointment at 1 o'clock, hopefully they keep that appointment with you. But allowing them to set up a personalized appointment helps you and your clients maintain your cleanliness guidelines by being able to space your appointments out, maybe 10 minutes before and after and in between appointments, so that you can sanitize everything. Measure and mark 6 feet or more on your production floors or your lobby. These are all really helpful steps. Protective barriers, if you need it, any workspaces that are not 6 feet apart, it is recommended to have some sort of physical barrier. I've seen the use of plexiglass a lot, vinyl. I've seen some agencies get creative and they're using PVC and curtains, which are fun. It's a low-cost way to get those barriers in place. You do want to make sure that all of your HVAC equipment is regularly maintained and cleaned, the filters on your air vents. Again, posters, signage, magnets, hand washing practices, coughing, sneezing etiquette. More and more I'm seeing, please don't come in if you have any of these symptoms. I think the message is clear, but you can only do good by hammering in that message. Staggered start times, if you're able to do that, great. It may not work for everybody. Same thing goes with working from home. If you are a smaller business and you can afford to let your team work from home while maintaining the workflow that you have, it might be a good idea to consider a couple days a week working from home and a couple days in the office, and then just staggering that shared workplace. Regularly scheduled cleaning times is something that we are practicing as an organization. Hand sanitizer, the Clorox wipes, even using disinfectant sprays are a great way to easily clean those surfaces. We're seeing occupancy limits change. Outdoor dining is the only way you're allowed to dine in my area, but we definitely are trying to keep everyone as separate as possible. Really take a look at, if you are an agency that needs travel or have clients that are outside of your immediate drive time, consider using those digital platforms to engage with your clients. And I find it's always a good practice to ask in advance multiple times, 2 weeks before, a week before, a couple days before, do you still feel comfortable meeting in person? What guidelines is your client looking for when you do meet in person? Are they okay with no one wearing a mask? Do they want you to wear a mask? Are they going to be wearing gloves? I mean, definitely as far as a supplier goes, we don't want to be sharing product right now. It's just not practical, and you can never be too safe. So when we are meeting in person, it's been really nice to have that human-to-human interaction, and then also, adhering to local and state guidelines as far as contact with others and maintaining a physical separation between myself and a client per se. I wanted to include these few resources to help you get started safely, or help your clients get started safely. We will have this available, as Melissa mentioned, ready on our website in a couple of days. Big Graphic put together a Rebound Ready digital catalog to help you with real life case studies and tips on how to get back to business safely. PPAI also published a flip book. What's great about their resource is that they also provided an end user friendly version, and it has the same stories, same pictures, but the verbiage is much more end user focused or buyer focused on their end user version. And then I've also included a link here for guidance to reopening businesses. They have a number of links to workplace safety, physical distancing requirements, and then again, check with your local and state government agencies to see what they require in order for you or for your clients to get back to it. Hopefully this becomes a different kind of normal sooner than later. We definitely want to get our economy going again and get back to the things we love to do, which are events and providing entertainment and marketing materials for the biggest names in the world. And with that, I want to know, are you rebound ready? Melissa, will you throw that poll question up here? I just want to know if the information that was supplied was helpful, will get you off on the right foot. Love to get that feedback from you and make sure that the content we provided today was helpful and relevant to you or to your clients. Looks like an overwhelming yes, so that's really exciting to see. I do appreciate your time today, and I'm so glad you were able to join us for a quick discussion of Rebound Ready. So, were there any
Oh, it looks like Eileen, I think you froze up. I will, right now, I am going to send in the chat. We have no questions that came in. Oh, there we go. Hi, Eileen. Oh, you're muted.
Okay, sorry for that. All right, I don't see any questions coming in. But thank you again. I appreciate all of your time. I'll let you have the 8 minutes left, and we'll get excited for our next webinar session. Melissa, do you want to tell everyone about it? I think it's going to be the best one yet.
Oh, yes. So the next one will actually be Friday, the 21st, and it will be on what's trending now. So really excited with one of our sales reps, actually from the West Coast as well. And I did, if you guys see in the chat, the Rebound Ready booklet that Eileen had just shown in the last slide is up on our website currently. And you can click that link, or it's just at biggraphic.com/Rebound Ready. So go ahead and check it out. And we thank you guys all for coming today. Have a wonderful afternoon.
All right, great. Thanks again.